Hi guys, welcome to Science Chomp. Today we're going to be looking at dimensional analysis. Now this is a way of treating units as algebraic quantities, and we're going to do a few examples. We're going to start off with something really simple. We're going to convert 30 kg into grams. Now you might be thinking, well, what's the point? We all know this is going to be 30,000 grams. It's obvious, the kilo means 1,000. But what you've got to understand is you've got to get the basics just right before you can do the more complicated ones. So let's start off with the conversion factors, of which there are two. Conversion. Oh, spelt it wrong there. Conversion factors. Okay, so the first conversion factor is going to be 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. And the second way we can write this conversion factor is there's 1 kilogram into 1,000 grams. Now, the idea is you put the number in front of this conversion factor and you multiply it out. And for that reason, we put 1 equals like this. Now, there's two conversion factors here, as you can see. So which one do we use? Do we use this one or this one? Well, the idea is you want to cancel out the kilogram and you want to leave only the gram behind, right? So if I substitute the number 1 for 30, that way I can take out the kilogram quite easily. But if I have it over here, it's not so easy, right? So we're going to stick with this one. So the idea is you cross cancel. Okay, so substituting 1 for 30 because we're converting 30 kg, and we've got to write kg, and I'll show you exactly why. And we have 1,000 grams over here, 1 kilogram down there, and we write an equals sign. So what we've got to do now is multiply that out. Because we've got kilograms up here and over here, they cancel out like this. And then we just multiply it out. 30 times 1,000 is 30,000. Divided by 1 is 30,000. So that's our answer. Let me write this down here on this other bit of paper. So equals 30,000 grams. Now, of course, I mentioned that at the very beginning, okay? But what we have done here is something known as dimensional analysis. And what you do, you just do the same thing for all of the other dimensional analysis type questions. So let's have a look at other ones, because there are some which are slightly more complicated than others. Let's look at another marginally more difficult question. And the question is going to be, how many grams in a pound? Okay, now we need several bits of information to actually get this done. So we know that there's 16 ounces OZ in 1 lb, 1 pound, okay? And we also know that there is 1 ounce in 28.35 grams. So this is the information that we've got to deal with, and we've got how many grams in 1 pound. So the idea here is we take pounds, convert it into ounces, because we've got this information, and then from the ounces we can convert it into the grams. And remember one more thing, our units need to be in grams per pound, because it's grams in a pound. Okay, so let's get started. We have 16 ounces in 1 lb. We want to put that in brackets. And on the other side, we have 28.35 grams in 1 OZ, 1 pound. We're going to multiply these out. And it's very important that you leave the units in there, and I'll show you why in a second. So this cancels that, so you end up with 16 times 28.35 grams divided by 1 pound times 1. We don't have the ounces there. So you multiply that out, you'll end up getting 453.6 grams per pound, because we've got this grams over here per pound, okay? Grams at the top, pounds at the bottom, grams at the top, pounds at the bottom. It's as simple as that, really. Let's look at another example which involves 4 conversion factors. Okay, so let's say, how many seconds in 1 month? Okay, so the unit that we want is going to be seconds per month. So you want ultimately seconds at the top, month at the bottom. So first of all, let's just say a month is about 30 days, okay? So our first conversion factor is going to be 30 days per 1 month. Remember, seconds per month, I want month at the bottom, okay? Now, I want to somehow cancel out days, so I'm going to have days down here, and I'm going to have that there's 24 hours in 1 day, okay? You can put that in brackets, put this in brackets, okay? And then I'm going to want to cancel out the hours, so I want hours down here. So in 1 hour, we can have 60 minutes. And I'm going to want to cancel out the minutes as well. We don't want that. Remember, we want seconds up here. So in 1 minute, we have 60 seconds. Okay, like this. Now, let's start cancelling things out. Okay, so days and days can cancel out. Hour with hour can cancel out. And minutes with minutes can cancel out. And what you are left with is seconds per month and all of these other numbers. So then what we do is we just multiply it out. So it's going to be, get my pen again. Let me just move this up. So it's going to be 30 times 24 times 60 times 60 seconds divided by 1 month times 1 times 1 times 1, like that. Basically, it's all of that divided by 1. Let's work that out. Let's get my trusty calculator out. So it's 30 times 24 times 60 times 60, which is 259,000, 2.5 million basically. 2592000. Okay, seconds per month. Now, whenever I use a calculator, I always just make sure. So let me just run that again. 30 times 24 times 60 times 60. Yeah, 2.5 million, pretty much. Let's convert 50 kilometers per hour into meters per second. This is probably going to be the most complicated one of them all, but even then it's not really all that complicated. The idea is you just have a look at where the units are, what units we want. Ultimately, we want meters at the top, seconds at the bottom. Everything else has to cancel out. And of course, we need our conversion factors as well. So remember, kilometers goes at the top. So we know that in 1 hour, this person travels 50 kilometers. So you can write here 50 kilometers in 1 hour, like this. Put this into brackets, okay? We're going to have to cancel both of these out somehow. So I'm going to cancel out the kilometers at first. So we know that in every kilometer, we have 1,000 meters, okay? Now, if we work it out, it's going to give us meters per hour, but we don't want meters per hour. We want meters per second. So we need a separate other conversion on the side over there. So let's put 1 hour up here. And in 1 hour, we have 60 minutes, okay? Like this. And again, we don't want meters per minute. We want meters per second. So we've got to get rid of this, this minute somehow. So in 1 minute, so that way we can cancel that out, we have 60 seconds. Now, if you have a look, we've got seconds at the bottom, that's where we want it. We've got meters at the top. Let's start cancelling out the bits that we don't want. Kilometers can go, we don't want that. Meters, that's a good one, we want that one. Hours can go, we don't want that. Okay, we've got minutes here. So far we've got meters, minutes divided by minutes. Well, that cancels that out. And we're left with meters and seconds. That's exactly what we want. So let's start putting our numbers and units together. So we end up with 50 times 1,000 meters times 1 divided by 1 times 60 seconds, like that. Meters per second. Let's work this one out using our calculator. All right, so we got 50 times 1,000. In fact, we know this is going to be 50,000. Why am I working that out? And then it's going to be 3,600, isn't it? So 50, if you're not sure, just put it all in brackets. 50,000, make sure the number of zeros is correct, divided by 1 times 1 times 60 times 60. I'm just going to put 60 times 60. And it gives us 13.89. 13.89 meters per second. Now there's another thing that we can do as well. I'm going to say that this is 14 meters per second. Why do I say this? Is because this has only got 2 significant figures, okay? 13.89 has 4 significant figures. And if they want you to make sure that, you know, arithmetically, you can't have more significant figures than the numbers that you put in. I mean, the least precise number here is, we've only got 1, it's 50. It's only 2 significant figures. So for that reason, I have rounded this to 2 significant figures, which gives us 14 meters per second. If you don't want to worry about significant figures, just put that and you're good. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.